Broadcasting live from the Joy 106.3 FM studios, it's the Hill Wildcats X's and O's show with host Coach Daryl Williams. Wildcats, let's flip the switch and do this.
Hill Wildcats, welcome back to the season finale of the Hill Wildcats X's and O's show. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Ralph Smith, and my other co-host, Mr. CC Cruz. Ralph, he made it back for another show.
Yep. I'm going to miss this show. I'm going to miss the fans. I'm going to miss all the radio audience. And it's been fun.
It definitely has been fun. Ralph, give us, what have you been up to, man, the last few weeks?
Well, fishing. I went up to visit my granddaughter in Virginia for a week.
How was that trip, man?
I loved the trip. It was the airport was just jam packed for Thanksgiving.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
But it was a good trip. All the planes were packed, but it was a good trip, and I enjoyed it.
Man, that is definitely great. Mr. Cruz.
Yes, sir.
Hadn't talked to you since on the air since that horrible Saturday in November. Glad you spent the next Thursday eating, turkey and things of that nature. But,
that kind of soothed it over a little bit.
But otherwise, how was it, man? Because we're gonna get to that in a minute.
Yeah, most definitely. Everything's been good. Just been working and catching up on some things, man. Definitely gonna miss this show for the time being, but we'll be back soon, though.
He said we. Rowdy said we.
I am including CC. We'll be back soon.
I am including CC, he says. Yeah, we'd be, glad to have you guys back on the show next year. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
And even though we're going to leave this, the radio station, the great folks here at 106.3 for the time being until we start up next year, we're still going to be bringing you footage and things of that nature as we continue, the recruiting period as we're in. And, early signing is coming up here pretty soon for all the colleges. And then in February,
most definitely,
will be the regular signing day. So,
right.
Be interesting. There's been, and we'll talk about it, there's been a lot of guys who've been on campus here at Bethune Cookman over the last few days and weeks to help us out.
Help us out, most definitely.
Definitely help us out. So, guys, we got to talk about something. 3:30 p.m. Camping World Stadium, November 20th. In front of 54,000.
A lot of people, isn't it?
It's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
It was a lot of people. Before we get into the meat and potatoes.
Okay.
I was still disappointed with the number of people who weren't in the stadium. Because there were some open holes. I saw some. Now, there were some people who there was two people who were sitting up high,
exactly
at the top of the top of the top.
Exactly.
But it's still, I think if, we could have got more people in there. And granted, there were some changes that happened to the stadium. They did enclose in that, upper bowl right in front of the lake part. So that's been enclosed in with more seating, but it wasn't truly open.
Mezzanine section.
Was closed down.
Behind us. Yeah, that was closed off.
In the good spots, the overhang.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So, that was closed out. So that took away a little bit from it, but hopefully in other years, because, from the numbers that were put out, I'm not saying those are actual numbers, from the numbers that were put out, Bayou Classic had more people.
See, I thought I thought we were going to get at least 70,000.
Yeah, me too. I mean, with the ticket sales and how we looked at everything, it was, yeah.
I still don't understand because that particular game, forget about the Bayou Classic, forget about all those other classics.
Right.
The Florida Classic is the biggest classic.
And it was deemed as that coming into that game, which we know it is, but,
Yeah, but see, this is what I think our fans don't understand. See, if you look at all the other classics that are played in the country, we are the only ones that own our classic.
Right. Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Florida A&M and Bethune Cookman University owns the Florida Classic.
Right.
So all the proceeds go to the two institutions. That's why I thought it was a lot of drama coming up.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Of course, A&M was talking above themselves, and
it was playoffs for them.
Yeah,
it was playoffs.
Yeah.
We're talking playoffs.
But I just still thought we would get 70,000. We were about what, 16,000 short?
Yeah. Which
we got.
I mean, you had the threat of rain that day, but at game time there was.
Yeah, but don't give them excuses.
Well, no, right. It should be.
I mean, because Walmart them still selling raincoats.
Yeah, right.
And there was ponchos outside the vendors.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
I know my parents walked around.
If we can't, my issue with the whole deal, and I was disappointed actually. If we can't support ourselves, who's going to support us?
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
We should have been to that game. I mean, I bet you it was another 30,000 people walking around on the outside of the stadium.
It was a lot out there.
Of course.
It was definitely a lot out there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Should have had 70,000.
And if they would have came in the game, first play from scrimmage,
you would have saw,
Mr. Black go up top to Mr. Powell.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And
why do you have to break that up?
It was buckle up time from then on.
Again, you said we're going.
I was hungry. It was time to get into the meat and potatoes. But at a period of time, we lost the meat and we only had potatoes.
I mean, SLU showed Bethune how to beat A&M, and we already knew how to beat A&M, and we decided, no, we're going to go at their strength rather than their weakness.
Right. What was it? We'll get to that, Ralph.
Okay, see, I'm getting ahead.
Don't run the head into the brick wall.
Yeah, but you're getting us started, so
okay. I don't want to get you riled up. I don't want to get you riled up.
Okay, so we say first play from scrimmage. Well, coming out of after the kickoff, what happened after kickoff?
Oh, we did one of our usual.
Right.
We wasn't ready.
We wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You guys caught us by surprise.
Yeah. So what are we saying? We wasn't ready. So after, there's a thing that happens at every football game, no matter what.
You have a kickoff.
And there's a coin toss, right? And the referee, it's his job to pat the guy on the shoulder, right? Who's ever getting the ball, and puts his hands up in there and brings it down like that. What does that signify? You're getting the ball, right?
Who's receiving? Who's kicking?
And there's still a roughly a 2 to 5 minute window before toe touches leather,
right?
To know what you're going to do. But coming into that game, shouldn't you know what your play call is if you win the toss?
You think they're pretty scripted, really? Well, most teams.
So are we going to get into this now, or are we going to wait?
We almost can't wait.
Can't wait.
Okay, so first play from scrimmage, we do score after the timeout.
We finna
all
get
right?
into it. Okay.
Our defense holds tight against FAMU.
Yeah.
We come back, marching again. Don't get into the end zone, and that first play was an 82-yard strike.
Right.
So 82-yard strike. FAMU then, comes back and answers with a 48-yard pass. So the game's 7-6. We blocked the PAT. Okay, you're still up by a point, right?
Right.
You can win the game with that, right?
Right.
Okay. You guys can take over from there, man. I can't hold y'all back no more. I got pit bulls ready to go. 3:44 remaining in the first quarter. FAMU goes up, scores 13-6.
Go ahead, Ralph. I'm going to let you have it, Ralph. I'm going to let you have it, Ralph. Go ahead, Ralph.
And then we go into predictability.
Why predictability, Ralph?
Because that's our comfort zone. Everybody in the city of Orlando know what we're going to do next.
What do we do?
We're going to run a halfback to the left. We're going to get 1 yard. And then we're going to run him back again. We're going to get no yards. So what we're going to do, we need 9 yards. So what we do, we're going to throw us a 50-yard pass. We only need 9. Predictability. We did it the whole entire year.
The sad thing about that, Ralph, is there was 2 young ladies sitting in front of me, and the elder young lady was basically calling the plays. And I tapped on the back. She said, I go to all the Cookman plays. I know what they're going to run. And for the most part, she knew exactly what we were going to run. Now,
what is that called? Predictability.
Correct.
I already said
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And
yeah,
so,
you laid it out.
As a coach, what do you get paid to do? The opposing coaches study film.
Figure out tendencies.
Correct.
What are tendencies?
What you do all the time under certain situations, what you're going to do.
Right.
You can't keep on doing that and beat that team?
Not if the opposing coach is a decent coach, and he studied your game film. He know what you're gonna do. You do the same thing every game.
You do the same thing.
I mean, I don't know whether or not we should get into that right now because that could be a long topic, and I think each one of us have our own take on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's the season finale.
Because it's a lot.
I don't want to hear this anymore.
Well, yeah, but it's so much frustration centered around the predictability. There's a lot of frustration, not only with the 3 of us, but outside of this room as well. Because, believe it or not, we're not a 2-8 team, but we made ourselves a 2-8 team. We made ourselves a 2-8 team with some of the the stuff that we did. Now, granted, we were a little short-handed on defense, but I thought the defense at the end of the season actually, I thought they did a pretty good job.
Well, to hold those guys to 13-7,
midway through
the third quarter, correct? Yeah. We just could not generate any offense. We just couldn't do it.
To that point, though, also, and we'll just get on because we're,
we're already there now.
Of the game.
Yeah.
The defense did well, but at the same time, you have to be able to get people off the field, too.
Oh, yeah, and they was something like 10 for 17 on third down.
Yeah. And I'm talking about no razzle-dazzle, no. We're going to run 26 and we're going to run 45. And that's not what I'm talking about as far as players, but plays,
Right.
It's everything's at an angle. Everything that, by the time we had players get to those angles, they're still moving forward. I mean, the heartbreaking thing was we had 4 guys to tackle, I think it was number 23, down there by the end zone, and nobody tackles him, and he puts his hand on the ground and gets across the goal line.
Well, let's talk even more about we need 1 yard or 2 yards. We put our small back in to get that 1 yard or 2 yard. When we got a big back that we can go. Look, A&M defensive line has been tough, all year. Make no bones about it. But did we put our kids in the best position to win? Okay.
Why do you say that? How didn't we put them in the best position to win? I'm just asking.
Yeah. Again, we got Bird trying to run up the middle to get 1 yard.
Did he do that on his own?
The scheme.
What do you mean by scheme?
See, what we tend to do, and I'm not cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
CC. What we tend to do, we tend to always run at a team's strength. Most teams try to scheme around their strength, or they finesse the strength. We don't finesse the strength. We tell you we getting ready to run right here. It's not like we James Madison's offensive line. I mean, but you can't just be pointing and telling people where you're going, and
not be a dog.
Exactly.
Right,
it's just like CC said. The lady who was sitting in front of him could tell you what play was going to be called next.
Yeah.
So that tells me, apparently, we have no imagination, or we don't spend enough time determining what our strengths and weaknesses are.
She knew that we had a new offensive coordinator, and she knew when the young man came in. She knew all that, and she said, well, her as the clock was winding down, she said that, and she must be lives in Daytona, because she said, I'm looking forward to see his offense in the spring.
Will we see a different one?
Well, I didn't want to answer her question.
And this is we're right now we're honing specifically on the Florida Classic, because we're going to get to the meat of the season. Right.
But she says she is looking forward, Ralph, to the offensive coordinator, to his offense this spring.
But how does she know he's going to be here, though?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
She must know something.
But
evidently,
at the same time, how do we know this wasn't part of his offense?
Yeah.
He averaged 20-something points a game.
That ain't enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not enough. Right. That's not enough.
I mean,
not
20. Oh, that's 20, but you was 20 short.
Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I are we hoping we see something miraculously?
Going by what she says.
Are we, and not the name drop, are you expecting Lane Kiffin to come out pull the mask off?
No, but this is, see, I never accepted the excuse that he came in late. Because a great offensive mind.
Oh, we'll work with anything and put it together.
Yeah, and as the season progressed, he actually gets into his groove. But I didn't see that groove. I never saw it present itself to me. So I'm not. Yeah, you can use the excuse that he came in late, but that's why he got paid the bucks he got paid.
Well, with that said, obviously, never mind. Never mind.
What, CC? Come on.
No,
man.
never mind.
I'm
good. I'm good.
Hey.
I'm like the lady that was in front of me. I'm looking for a new offense this spring. That's all. So.
And what happens if you don't get it?
Well,
what's the definition of insanity?
Well, let me say this. I don't care who you are around the nation, if you're in football or you're not in football. Whether it's HBCUs, Division III, FCS, everybody is making changes to better their team.
We're talking about the Florida Classic right now.
Everybody is making changes to make their team better at some point. Everybody's doing that. Everybody.
So you talking about recruiting?
We're talking about
We're talking about the Florida Classic right now. Let's finish with the Florida Classic.
He cut me off.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to the Florida Classic. Okay. We knew that they had a freshman cornerback that we could beat anytime we get ready. But we went completely away from that. We knew that we
you beat? Are you saying like you showed 50. At that time, it was probably 52,000 in there. You showed 52,000 what you could do from the first play of the game.
I mean, DJ was Captain America.
And it didn't just stop on the first play.
No, it didn't. I mean, DJ played fabulous. You know,
but you went away from him.
But you went away from him. You totally went away.
Why do you think so?
I can't figure that out. You know why?
So why do you think things are going to change in the spring?
All right, Ralph. Well,
definition of insanity. Okay.
I mean, okay. Well, hold on for a second, because I don't want him to end it like that. My point is, would you agree that we could pass against A&M every time we get ready?
Of course.
So why would we pass against them?
Was Marquise Bell a factor to you in that game? Was Savion Williams, the DN, a factor to you in that game? No.
You're right.
Our right tackle held it down on the right tackle side.
Sure did.
Right. He did.
Against two SEC guys going up against each other.
Exactly.
Transferred into a HBCU. Thank you guys for that.
Exactly.
Marquise Bell had an interception off of, we don't know if it was a broken route or what happened.
Whatever
he got an interception.
He got an interception. Right.
Should have.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
But that was the only time you ever heard his name.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So are we saying, Ralph, that the offense that I've seen this last game is going to be the same offense I'm going to see this spring?
I'd say you give him a little more time, and I know what Ralph said, but I think he could put some wrinkles in there, but you're only as good as your players and what you teach them to do. So,
Okay, let me ask you a question then. We was in El Paso.
Yes.
We was at Grambling.
Yes. Don't mention Jackson because
we was at the Florida Classic. We was at the Florida Classic.
Yes, sir.
What do you see different from El Paso to the Florida Classic? What wrinkles did you see different? Do you see any wrinkles?
Yeah.
It's taking you too long to answer me.
Hey, it was what I saw was the Benjamin Button effect this year.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is,
please explain.
El Paso, right?
Yeah.
That looked like a decently oiled team, right?
Yeah.
First game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
How did it go at the last game of the season?
It looked like
newborns.
Yeah, a totally different team. Like a totally different team. I mean, the team that played at Grambling wasn't the team that played at Florida Classic.
Okay.
Well, yeah. We had some mistakes at the Florida Classic. I mean, I'm sorry, at Grambling. That we said that. Yeah.
You remember you were talking about that?
Yeah.
And I said, boy, if we keep laying this ball on the carpet like this, we're gonna be in trouble.
So,
and
Ralph,
we got in trouble in the third quarter.
So let me ask this question. So we're talking about it. So what is it gonna take for us to get to that next level, offensively and defensively, in your mind?
Let's Florida Classic. We'll get to that point. Yeah,
we can't talk about that.
No, not yet, man.
Boy, he got a muzzle on me, Ralph.
Only for a little bit. He bit one of my fingers off already trying to hold it.
Well, he and I was really sitting pretty close together.
I heard.
Right.
And Jerry.
Right, and Jerry was right down.
And we're trying to say, well, wait a minute. We're in the midway of the third quarter.
Right.
And the score's 13-7.
Right, exactly.
And we hadn't done a damn thing up to that point. We were playing, we were actually playing shitty on offense, and the score was 13-7. And then we could have scored off the block extra point, and we started acting a damn fool. But
what was that, though? Let's talk about that.
Well, yeah, because I don't understand that rule. I've never seen them take points off the board after it was scored about something that happened way back here that had nothing to do with the play.
And so then I wonder, and then we got a penalty for the gentleman's his celebration after scoring, right? So if the score didn't count,
Well, why did you take the penalty, though?
Right.
I've never seen that before.
One thing erases the other if the other didn't happen.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, and then it seemed like it started unraveling right there. It started unraveling.
It did.
Because
that was a momentum swing.
Swing.
Yeah.
And I could look at the people that on A&M side thought, oh crap, here we go again. And then we went back to our basic. 2 to the left, long shot, kick it.
Yeah. But you know what? And I'm not getting ready to say.
But I'm saying.
Go ahead, brother. Say it. And stop trying to be political.
Well, Daryl puts the muzzle on me, then he takes it off.
We're talking about the Florida Classic, man. Thank God that we delayed the show a few weeks because the week after.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it would have been a bad Thanksgiving.
Right, it really would.
I think so.
It really would. But look here, honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say that A&M had a better team than we did. I just can't say that.
Oh, they did.
I can't say that at all. We have some issues, on our team, and I think that the kids that we had this year, they showed that they can play against anybody.
Of course.
And I think my problem is, when it comes to this whole offensive thing, we're basic. We're basic. And we're basic to the fact that, when people in the stand can call your plays, that's a problem. Honestly, that's really
especially
a problem.
At this level.
Yeah, at this level, people can really call your play, and it's not just. It's just not just. And I know, Daryl, you say let's keep it, with the classic, but we're talking every game. It's people sitting up in the stands.
Well, yeah,
and they're basically, they're basically calling the same because we run the same thing. The same thing.
Let's go to the stats from that game. Ralph, you had something?
No, let's do the stats.
All right. Devin Black finishes the Florida Classic 10 of 13, 231 yards. Threw a pair of fourth quarter touchdowns to Kamari Everett. And he was named our MVP for that game. DJ Powell, he had receptions of 43 and 39 yards, finished with 164 yards. And as I said, Kamari Everett finished with 6 catches, 64 yards.
Question for you. Kamari Everett, is there a reason why we can't bring him inside instead of keeping him outside?
We're going to get to that, man, because that goes back to the same thing that you were talking about in schemes.
I got a muzzle. Okay. Go ahead.
Defensively. Malik Franklin had a team high 10 tackles, along with Amari Hill Robinson. That kid played his heart out this year.
He did.
Along with Cal Sutherland and Henry Miller, they each had 6 tackles. Yeah. We finished this season 2-9, which we'll cover here shortly. On the day for the Florida Classic, Bethune-Cookman finished with 316 total yards. FAMU had 473. Passing yards, Bethune-Cookman 265. FAMU finished with 197. Rushing yards, Bethune-Cookman finished with 51 yards. FAMU 276 yards on the day. Penalty yards, Bethune-Cookman penalized 5 penalties, 40 yards. FAMU penalized 6 penalties, 40 yards. So even in the penalty thing, so we can't say that swung the game. Right. First downs, Bethune-Cookman had 11, FAMU 22. Third downs, Bethune-Cookman 5 for 10, FAMU 11 for 17. Got to get them off the field.
Right.
Fourth down conversions, Bethune-Cookman had none. FAMU had none. They were 0 for 2 in fourth down conversions. Time possession, Bethune-Cookman 23 minutes, 15 seconds. FAMU 36 minutes, 45 seconds. So that was the tail of the tape in that one. That'll take us into our SWAC season recap, final rankings, and honors. In the SWAC, in the East Conference, Jackson State finished 8-0 in the conference, 11-1 overall, as far as league play. We know Jackson State still has one more game against one of our formidable foes in South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta. FAMU finishes the season at 7-1 conference, 9-3 overall. Alabama A&M 5-3 conference, 7-3 overall. Alabama State 3-5 in conference, 5-6 overall. Mississippi Valley State finishes 3-5 in conference, 4-7 overall. And our Bethune Cookman Wildcats finish the season 2-6 in conference, 2-9 overall. On the west side, Prairie View finishes 6-2 in conference, 7-2 overall. Alcorn State finishes 5-3, 6-5 overall. Southern 3-5 conference, 4-7 overall. Grambling State 3-5 conference, 4-7 overall. Texas Southern 2-6 in conference, 2-8 overall. Shout out to their basketball team for beating Florida the other night.
Yeah, definitely.
Arkansas Pound Bluff rounds out the West Conference at 1-7 in conference, and overall they are 2-9.
Let me ask a question, though. Because we played 3 teams from the West. We played Alcorn, Grambling, and Prairie View. Now, I'm pretty sure that's not going to stay that way because that just kills the traveling thing that we speak of.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see.
Well, when you talk about the traveling thing, what do you mean?
In terms for the expenses.
Oh, you talk about the games that we flew to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I need to put a muzzle on him.
Yeah, the games we flew to, which we could have done, you know.
Wow.
Go up 95.
Okay.
And could have stayed in the towns where we played the games at and things of that nature instead of having to fly into one place and, you know, skip Grambling, skip Ruston, and go to Monroe and have to stay and then come back, even though we won the game, you know. It's just
Muzzle time.
That sounds like that's a problem with you.
I said muzzle time.
not just me, but that's, you know, we were good. We were good in our setting, but, you know, you know, with a game that was at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Mind you. All right, FCS computer rankings. We'll continue on since CC says so. Jackson State currently is ranked number 12 in FCS. They were previously number 17. FAMU finishes the season at number 35. They were previously 35. Alabama A&M finishes at 57. Prairie View A&M at 70. Alcorn State 78. Mississippi Valley State 82. Alabama State 84. Grambling State 96. Southern University 99. Our Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 105. Texas Southern 111. And Arkansas Pine Bluff 119. Willie Jackson said that makes us the second worst team in the SWAC, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Now on a lighter side and the more congratulatory side, 4 of our Wildcats receive SWAC postseason honors. Senior tight end, which he is looking to possibly be back another year for Mari Everett, and we hope that happens. Named all SWAC first team offense. Congratulations to you, Mr. Everett. Looking great things out of you this season, and looking for great, you know, things for you next year. Looking forward to you coming back. Senior linebacker Ontario Johnson named first team all SWAC defense. Did his thing. Yeah. Held on. He started the year second team. You know, on the watch list and made it first team. That's the way to come through, man. That's the way to come through. And when I finish with this, I'll have a comment because I know Ralph will. Junior cornerback Omar Hill Robinson. Great job, young man. Fantastic. All SWAC first team defense.
Right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Definitely. And Mr. Darnell D, sophomore, rounds it out for all SWAC second team special teams.
But you know the interesting thing, though? That junior and sophomore, those two kids are special. And they want to be special.
Oh, yeah. They're only getting better, man.
And Robinson?
Yes.
If these don't get hurt.
Yeah, it's a whole different, it's a whole different thing. And as Ralph always says, those guys hardly got any recognition. And I'm not talking about from the Bethune side. I'm talking about from the SWAC side.
During the whole season. They were never mentioned.
Never mentioned.
And
And there's some other guys who didn't place on the team, but they were right there in the rankings in you know, tackles and things of that nature, and on offense, you know, Quayshawn Bird in rushing, and to Kevin Thomas and Sutherland, you know, in tackles and things of that nature. So, you know.
But see, you know, after I started thinking about it, though, okay, they wasn't recognizing our kids, and our kids continue to do the thing right. I think what Bethune has to do is a real Bethune-Cookman University show up in the SWAC, because the SWAC, to me now, this is just me, it's not that strong. SWAC's really not that strong.
No.
You know, they're just not that strong. And if we just played our brand of football, I think we could have turned that SWAC upside down, actually. We didn't play our brand.
I'm eager to ask, what's our brand?
Our brand is
what's our identity anymore?
Okay, see, I don't know that, because I don't know what our brand is. Our brand is our identity. I mean, we are smacking,
who are you?
Knock them down, and go for the juggler. That's who we are.
Ralph, you don't have a muzzle. Keep on.
When was that?
When was that?
Yeah. When did I know you last?
I would say about 3 years ago.
16?
Mm-hmm.
About 16, correct?
No, actually, I think it ended in 17 when we marched in southeast Louisiana and whooped their butts. We were knocking heads.
Did you get hit with anything during that game?
Nope.
Did you walk to the bus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We walked all around that stadium. But
had a great time.
Yeah, but we were whooping their butt, though. It's
different
when you get whooped.
They said when they got there, it was that way.
Well, they came all loud and stuff. We came in there like church.
Fam, you don't do that, man.
Yeah, come on. One thing that I love about Bethune-Cookman, they don't do a whole lot of talking. We walked in that stadium, they didn't even know we was in there.
When we got there, because we did get there a little late, I know that was during hurricane time, we were already putting the thunder to them.
As we got to the gate, we scored the touchdown. So Bethune came in there saying, hey, we going to whoop y'all.
In the third quarter, that's when they brought the game back close. But before then, it was running.
They didn't bring the game back close. The referees brought the game back close. But again, we were there. We walked around talking to people. Nobody bothered us. Yeah. I mean, they were kneeling the football players.
But
they're so close to them.
They still didn't. You know, the heckling, you're gonna get that.
Exactly.
Go into any stadium. Don't go into one of these Power 5 stadiums and be the visitor. It starts before you even get on the field. Like I said, you know.
Because they were saying to us, "Who are you guys? Where y'all come from?"
Right. Where is Bethune-Cookman?
I never forget that. They said, "Where are you guys from?" Because we were whooping them.
I mean,
that was the last year that we was who we are.
We're getting some comments here. You know, Jarrell Roll says 2015. You know, a couple guys say when Jenkins was the coach last. Definitely not 2016. That was one of the worst seasons. We went 4-6.
Yeah, we were terrible. 2016, we were terrible.
And in 2021,
we were terrible.
What you say, Charles Barkley? Terrible.
I mean, it was I'm not accustomed to seeing people on the field push us around. And after plays, I saw guys getting up in our guys' faces. I'm just not used to seeing
But I think I told CeCe that earlier. When we were eating dinner, that it's kind of the same way with Florida State. You know, it's that whole mantra, like, you're not feared anymore. Like, you step in there and they're like, okay, nice tomahawks, you know. Yeah. Nice cats on your helmet and things of that nature, but
so what do we have to do to get better?
It's a mindset, and it starts with the coaching. It's a mindset.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a mindset.
It is.
And it's, to me, I don't know how to tell you the coach mindset, but it's about what you stand for. I think it's about your players are gonna be like you are, and if you mild mannered and you're timid, then they're gonna be mild mannered and timid.
What make players want to come and play football for your university on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, most players want to be like the offense that UCF have,
right?
James Madison have, SSU have, the fun offenses where everybody's involved.
Everybody touches the ball.
Everybody touches the ball.
Exactly.
And the plays are being run so quickly, the defense really don't have time to sit there and organize.
Fam, you did that a couple of times.
Yeah, I know.
You saw where they ran, Daryl, 2 and 3 plays in a row. I mean, it just kept running it.
It's creativity, guys. It's
exactly right. And I guess my question is, have we done that this year?
Heck no,
we haven't. Okay. I didn't want to. I felt comfortable with saying no, but maybe when it
goes back to identity,
right? It goes back to identity.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Because when FAMU got in a rhythm, we were off balance.
Of course,
we were totally off balance,
and that was. But I'm going to keep bringing in SLU because that's what they did to A&M. They kept them off balance.
They kept them off balance.
Yeah. They just kept them off balance because before they could recognize what was going on, the play was going.
The play was gone. Yeah.
So
I think that kind of stopped. That kind of offense stopped when Schubert came. That kind of offense you're talking about, because prior to that we had something very similar to that.
Yeah.
Super changed that.
Yeah.
And then this new coordinator, he almost made it let's get in the rocking chair and think about it first.
Well,
I mean, because we ran the clock down to the last second before we ever ran a play.
Yeah.
And we was in formation. And we were just, nobody could understand why are we so casual. I don't know.
To get better, the first thing we need to do is get a full-time director that wants to build all the programs.
Director of what?
Athletic director. Full-time athletic director. AD.
Yeah. How about a quarterback coach? Would that help?
It would help.
Okay. Would have helped in the development of Black?
Well, absolutely.
Okay.
You got to remember now, the entire time Black was at Bethune Cookman, we did not have an offensive quarterback coach.
All right.
And the kid, the young man played for a state championship
in high school.
Yeah. And was a good quarterback, and he still is.
Right.
But see, for me though, I kind of saw the real Black at the Classic. I'm thinking, if that kid would have been given an opportunity, the Kiwis they would have switched him to wide receiver
easily. I agree with that.
Because Black is a much better passer.
Oh God, yeah, no question.
And he can run.
Yeah, no question.
But again, I know Coach Sims. I know what he's probably listening to us. He said, "You playing to the course." I already know that. I'm sure he's going to make those adjustments.
Okay.
I said, I'm sure he's going to make those adjustments.
To what?
What we just finished talking about. So you gonna put the muzzle on me
got
too?
The muzzle on you, baby.
Nah, there's no muzzle, but I mean, okay. Let's just be real. The X's and O's show is a fan show, correct?
Right.
It's a Wildcat show. Right. It's for all fans.
Right.
Year after year, I've always heard, okay, what we're looking for coming into the next season, right?
Right. 'Right. Right. 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 Right.
And if you have you seen it yet?
Nope.
But you feel you're going to see it?
Not me.
No, he didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that. I'm the one saying, yeah, I'm the one riding out that in the spring we're going to see a new offense.
No. But Ralph said, he feels that
we're going to see the same thing what we've been
seeing. No, that's not what I said.
That's not what I said. That's not what he said.
That's not what I said. I said, I'm sure that Coach Sims already have the answers to what we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about before that statement.
I can't go back that far.
Okay, but I talking about yeah, but I can.
I can't go back that far.
Yeah. I think that I'm very hopeful.
Bro, go ahead, CC.
I'm very hopeful that the spring we're going to see a new innovative offense.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Now, that's just what it is.
Hold on, Darryl. I got to ask this question. And what have you seen to make you think that?
Nothing. But with that being
said,
and
that's what I was talking about from the beginning of the season. I've always had to fight CC with that, saying, CC, you always say, okay, I believe this, but you can believe something all you want.
You know what? And here's the thing. There's no way, this offensive coordinator, he's came in here. Okay, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Most people won't, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay. For these last couple of games, for all season, he's had a taste of what's going on. I feel he's going to come in spring and he's going to put an innovative offense on the field.
And the only question I'm asking you, just listen to my question. What have you seen to make you feel that?
Nothing.
And is he innovative enough to do that?
Well, if you bring him up from what did he come from? Miles or
Miles?
Okay, that's Division 2. Okay, so when you bring an offensive coordinator up from 2 to 1 on this level, I'm sure Sims know the man capabilities that he can put an innovative offense together. I'm assuming that.
But this is what I'm saying, and I heard this earlier. We're looking at somebody putting the innovative offense together.
See,
as an OC, you got to come in and pick up on that system. So every OC that we get, let's go to Grambling. And this is not to pick on Grambling. Let's go to Grambling. Each one of their OCs that they hire, because they hire a lot during the spring.
They did. Right.
Are you running the head coach's system, or are you bringing in your own system?
You should be bringing in your own system.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
You should be bringing in your own system.
Okay, so let's take that case in point. From what I just said with the Grambling change up, if each one of them coordinators had their own system, how do you expect the players to make it go when you're learning 2 to 3 different playbooks with each one of those guys?
That's why I said this guy, he came in,
As a head coach, you got to have your own philosophy because that's what you got hired off of.
Well, I agree, but maybe you should have brought your offensive coordinator in a whole lot earlier than August the 31st.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so the man came in. Okay, he worked with what he had. So now you give him the opportunity to bring his players in and run his offense, which I'm sure this is a young man. He's going to have an innovative offense. I just cannot see him without
Is
an innovative
20-something points a game?
Not for the SWAC. Not for the SWAC. Not for the SWAC. But again.
So that my point, and this is not to knock the man, but my point is, he was the OC at Miles for 3 years.
He was.
They only averaged 20 points a game.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what he's bringing to you.
Well, I know some. I do know a couple of gentlemen that knows this guy, and they said, they said the guy can really put some stuff together.
So why you only have 20 points to game him out?
When you were there 3 years
hold up.
as the OC.
I'm only going by what I'm told.
No, you don't have to go by what you're told.
No,
you
wait.
saw what the production was.
Yeah, but still, look, regardless of the fact, he can take some blame, but the man was bought in the end of August. Okay, that's a problem for me. That's just a problem, Ralph. Okay, so now what you have, you got this guy trying to run whatever they've been running for the whole year. Give this young man a chance this spring.
Okay, but I'm going to give him an opportunity. This is all I'm saying. Just hear me out on this. I'm just going to make this one point. The point is, he was at Miles for 3 years. His average points per game was 20.
So what I want to see, because I'm saying the same thing Ralph was saying.
I get what you guys are saying, but obviously somebody had to see something in him.
No,
you were in
your back was against the wall.
Hold up. Somebody had to see something in this guy. There's no way you bring him here and he doesn't know how to utilize an offense. There's just no way.
Nobody is saying that.
All right.
What we're saying is, for what I saw for 3 years, and you're in that place,
I get
and
that.
you're the OC, so that means you're calling the plays.
Correct.
I'm saying that too.
Yeah, I know what y'all saying. I get it. I totally get it. However, I'm still going to wait until the spring.
I don't know whether or not you remember this. You might be a little too young. You remember when they used to take the Volkswagens and put the those fronts on them? They used to be Rolls Royce fronts.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do, because they're kind of coming back now. They're still.
It's almost like you could put lipstick on a pig.
But it's still going to be a pig.
Well, first of all, Ralph, if he remembers, I remember it. That's number one. Okay.
But do you remember that?
I remember. I do remember. But
What, CC? What?
You got to give the man a chance.
He's a kind gentleman.
You got to give the man a chance. And we'll be out at spring practice.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
We'll be out at spring practice. We'll be able to
let me ask you a question. So, at what point will you, at what time will you realize that what you think is going to happen ain't going to happen, and where are you going to be?
I'm going to realize that the third practice of the season in spring.
Now, hold on. Whoa.
That's not fair accuracy. I say no.
That's not fair. Because I'm going to tell you something. I went to just about every practice, and I saw a whole lot of plays ran, but I never seen them play in the game.
Yeah, I'm just shooting at it when I say the third play. We understand. But I don't know. I think he has to have an opportunity to put his offense on the field.
Okay.
And I think that you can't look at him from this season and say that this offensive coordinator just won't do it.
Okay.
I just feel like that. I feel like starting this point moving forward. I think he's going to put it off. Most young offensive coordinators have innovative offenses, Ralph, as you know. Okay.
So would you include Super into that?
What we're saying to you, CC,
They go to muzzle.
What we're saying to you is there's no way whatsoever that if you're an OC that you can't draw up stuff from anybody's offense and make it your own, make it work.
I understand what you all are saying. I totally understand that.
Okay. I don't want to hear a whine out of you.
No.
If we don't score over such and such a points, 20-something points. Next year.
Again, I just feel like you will see his brand of offense.
They fire people, you know that, right?
They fire people. And they have. And
look at football school.
You're exactly right.
Okay.
They'll find people left and right. But obviously somebody saw something in our offensive coordinator to bring him here.
You make an assumption.
CC.
You're making an assumption.
You all talk to me after the spring.
Okay. No.
Yeah,
I'm
you talk to
talking
me
to
after
you
the
after
spring.
the 2021 season. That's what
and you know what, Ralph? If I don't see any Ralph,
I'm just saying,
if
man.
I don't see any changes, I'll be first.
That was cold-blooded. That was cold.
I'm just, but this is what I'm saying. Like, my thing is,
Oh man.
my thing is, I'm not a proponent, of course, of anybody getting fired, but in this day and age, everybody's looking for production.
Everybody, correct?
Because not only, you know, fans are going to get mad, right?
Right.
If we don't win, that's common.
Right.
But you're not only hurting the fans when you don't have great production.
Right.
There's plenty of these young men who, you know, they come to college, yes, to get their education, get a degree.
Right.
But also some aspire to do more on the football field.
Right.
Past college.
Right.
And when you're not putting them in that situation to do that,
right,
to the best of their ability, then that hurts you in recruiting too.
It does. It does.
So it has a domino effect. So you can't just, you know, okay, we're going to wait and see. And
so when you look
the
at
TP, and I ain't talking about toilet paper.
Right. So
the transfer portal.
Right. Which by the way, the transfer portal, which Michigan State, Ralph, half of their team is built off the transfer portal.
I know.
Did you know that, Ralph?
Of course I do that.
Okay, all right. I said half of the team
I knew that.
is built off the.
He told you that.
I told you that. My son is a Michigan
No, he
State
didn't tell
graduate.
me that, but
You already do. We do.
Yeah. But are we utilizing the transfer portal?
Of course not.
Not to its full ability.
Okay. So when a
But as somebody said, even the big colleges are now win now.
yeah.
And that's what the transfer portal is.
Yeah.
You got some young guys in the transfer portal, but
you know, my thing is, the key thing is, so as much as I do not like Deion Sanders, the one thing he does do though,
right,
he put them behinds in the stands.
he sure does.
And you put the behinds in the stands, that's revenue.
Right.
And
He
when
does.
you get revenue, you can build locker rooms and all that other crap.
Yeah. The only problem is, can we, when you said Deion Sanders, there's not a coach in the SWAC that can measure up when it comes to his personality.
I'm not looking at his personality because his personality
I don't
is
even
one
like
thing.
his personality.
No. I'm not a fan of it. But he's selling tickets.
Yeah. But selling tickets didn't win him them games. The selling tickets didn't put him in the Celebration Bowl. He went out and he knew, okay, I got my personality, but if I get it handed to me out here on the field, and he saw a little bit of that in the spring, and what did he say? He vowed not to, on your watch. That's what he told his son.
You're exactly
this
right.
ain't going to happen on your watch.
Right, exactly.
We're going to the Celebration
So
Bowl.
what did he do? He made changes.
He brought in, he made sure his staff was solid.
He made changes.
He had a solid staff, though.
He made changes. What I've been saying, he made changes.
And you know the other thing he did though, in the middle of the season, he changed the people who was calling the plays.
Of course he did.
He switched.
Of course he did.
But hold on. So you say that, Ralph. You say that. So that kind of just went to tear down CC whole point.
Like I said,
he made changes.
Well, really?
He made
in
changes.
mid-season.
Yeah, in mid-season. He made changes.
And he's a rookie coach that everybody say can't coach.
Or you can make changes during the off season when there are coaches, because from other staffs who've been let go.
I've said it 1,000 times, and I keep on saying it. If we want to win, we're going to have to get that staff that's are capable of taking us where we need to go.
But we're keeping the offensive coordinator, and that's not to hit on him. I'm just going off your words.
Yeah. I'm not. All I'm saying with him, give this guy an opportunity.
He got it.
Give him an opportunity.
I heard this in August from you.
Yeah. Okay. Give him an opportunity. Give him an opportunity. He hasn't had that. No, he has not had that opportunity. This is what I want to
see to say to CC.
No.
Yeah. Ralph, you want to know why his argument is that?
Wow.
He hadn't been to the games to see what we've seen.
I've been to the games. I've definitely been to the game. But I'm gonna
tell me the last road game you went to other than Orlando.
A lot of them. But anyway, the bottom line is, yes, he was averaging 20 points a game. Is that going to help us win? No. Obviously, we're going to need more points. Okay. Give the guy the spring. There's no way he saw what that offense did, which was nothing. Okay. And you got the horses to do what you need to do. It's no question about it. You got the kids to be successful.
Yes, we do. We got
from wideouts to running backs you got what it takes now.
So you're going with, and this is not I know we got to go through the spring, so you're going to go with Devin Black at quarterback because he's the only experienced quarterback you got.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
Then you just put him behind the 8 ball again.
I'm not putting, no.
How?
No. We have other quarterbacks that are coming in. Now, I'm not saying this, I'm not saying they're going to all compete.
We get that.
They're going to all compete.
Are they all
that
going,
QB1 position?
Right, and so when you're out there competing and you have to pick the playbook up,
right?
What's going to happen? And you don't you possibly don't quarterback coaching title, but on this level you have to be truly the OC.
Okay, so Darryl, so that means that your offensive coordinator. So obviously you're going to bring in a whole new different offense, correct? Because this is your time, correct?
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the offensive coordinator that we have here. Okay. You're going to bring in your system starting January or whenever you
Who's going to work with your quarterbacks while you're doing the install?
You're going to get a quarterback coach. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a quarterback. You know you need a quarterback coach. So you're going to get...
that? Who knows that?
Because you didn't do it this year.
Well, of course, Sims know it.
You sure about that?
Well, I'm hoping he know it.
Oh.
No, so you're going to get a quarterback coach, from somewhere. You can go get you a GA. And some of these
we all know what we can do.
GA. And they can come in and they could,
Have you seen one in the last 5 years?
No.
GA.
No.
Well, we had, Matt, and then the coach who's coaching the NFL now, Coach Braden.
Well, yeah.
Was he a quarterback coach?
Mm-hmm. He was a head coach and left his head coaching position to come here and be the quarterback coach.
So do we not want...
What quarterback played under him?
That was like 4 years ago.
So that was...
Brim?
That was Brim.
Yeah, Larry. Yeah.
That was Brim.
He came from West Palm Beach also. This guy.
Brent was a quarterback.
Let me ask you a question. Since we stand right here right quick. So neither one of you all feel good about what we're doing offensively. I get it. I didn't either. So what do we do? What do we do?
As a whole, it's not just, and I'm not picking on as a whole.
No, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying, what do we do from because what do we do from an offensive standpoint? We have the players. It's no question. We have fabulous players. We got great wide receivers. Man. We got capable quarterbacks or a capable quarterback. We got good running backs. So what do?
We got to have a person to put all that together and then work on each one of those individuals' strength and build your offense around each one of them's strength.
Okay.
You got a scheme.
Okay. Look, agree with both of you all. What I'm telling you is this guy is going to do this spring.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all
I'm saying.
No. You find wrinkles in the offense that you had to work with to scheme against people. Schemes don't change between the offensive coordinator. If you know a good scheme to take that play, I can take that play and draw it up on the board. That's just like, for instance, when you used to see Gruden or Coach Mooch on TV with guys who are going in the league, and he tells him, dissect this play for me. That's what you got to have. Because, okay, what's going to happen? You come in with your offensive scheme, right? Your offensive playbook. Right. But that defensive coordinator's on point, and he's shutting everything you got down.
Right.
What you going to do? That's my point. You got to know how to get out of that to say, okay, you know what? Screw it. This ain't going to work, but this, we're going to stay in the game with this.
Okay.
We might not win it, but.
Okay. So is the same offensive coordinator still here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out then.
The whole coaching staff is still here.
Oh, well, I guess we'll find out.
What are we going to find out?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, boy, I'm going to love it this year. Or next year, I'm going to love it.
We can't wait. We can't wait
till
September.
It's not just.
We're going to Miami.
The defense ain't so excused now.
No.
No.
Although,
No.
I love the linebackers this year.
Yeah.
I love the linebackers this year. I really did. Coach,
you
linebackers
lost one.
really. Huh?
You lost one.
Yeah. We did lose one. Yeah, we did. But number 19, he's still here, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't do it by himself.
No, he can't.
Finished the season 2-9. September 4th, LPAT UTEP lost 28-38. September 11th, UCF lost 63-14. Alabama A&M Thursday night game, we lost 27-30. Against Alabama State,
27-30. That was 42 something.
No, right?
No, Alabama A&M.
Yeah, Alabama A&M.
Oh, I'm thinking
Alabama State.
Yeah.
Alabama State game was 38-27. Or 38-24, I'm sorry. South Carolina State, 42-35. Lost to Mississippi Valley State for homecoming, 20-14. Lost to Prairie View, 35-29. Lost to Jackson State, 42-12. Beat Alcorn State, 35-31. Beat Grambling, 31-14. And you lost to FAMU, 46-21. And that's our season in review. As far as stats, points, scoring. Bethune-Cookman scored 270 points. Our opponents, 399. We had 177 first downs. Our opponents had 248. Rushing yards. We finished the season with 1,256 yards. Our opponents finished with 1,964 yards. Passing yards. We finished with 2,330 yards. Our opponents, 2,746. Total offense for the season, 3,586 yards. Our opponents, 4,710. Our attendance for the season for home games, 21,291. Our opponents' attendance, 154,243.
Turn off the lights.
Now, we got a couple of excuses for that attendance. The attendance was atrocious. I agree with that. Two of those games was rained out.
And then the other two you started at...
One of them started at
crack of dawn.
The crack of dawn.
Yeah. I mean, but that is no excuse for our fans not showing up for those football games.
Yes, excuse.
No, it isn't.
Why?
Because they sell raincoats at Walmart, Academy, and everywhere.
But were we handing out L's?
Doesn't matter. Look,
it's a win now thing, Ralph. It is.
Look, up until this year, Jackson State hadn't won more than 5 games in the last 10 years, and they led the FCS in attendance.
Now, Ralph, you didn't go to that game, but...
Well, they lied. They do lie about attendance.
That's all I wanted to say.
They do kind of shade the attendance.
Those numbers are way construed, you know. Like they're probably, I think SWAC wide.
There's a reason that Mississippi school system is one of the worst in the country. Because them boys don't know that arithmetic.
They'll probably tell you there was 15,000 people at the Grambling game, including everybody who was outside.
Yeah, I'm going to back up on that because that was a bad statement I made. Because we had already discussed that them boys shade the numbers. Man. Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. And between Jackson State and Florida A&M, we don't know who is the biggest liars out of those two. I think they might be equal.
No, I think Florida A&M got them by a little.
One stat we won out on, 84 penalties for 730 yards. Our opponent's 77 penalties for 722 yards.
Can we get back to the attendance, sir?
Sure. Mr. Holmes said, fans do not show up to watch their team lose. Fans don't spend money to...
No, they don't. They don't.
That's your that's who you got to count on.
You got to put a product out there.
You got to.
Because you got to put a product out there.
Who are the ones that see...
And I guess that's where we go back to this same conversation, what we've been talking about for the past 20 minutes. We got to have an innovative offense for not only for our team, but that's what fans want to see.
It wasn't, I hate to say it, but it wasn't the administration it was the administration that ultimately let Dan Mullen go, but the Bull Gators at Florida, once they speak,
it's a wrap.
Right.
It's a wrap.
If you don't do it,
yeah, but the difference between them and us, they not only support that team in attendance, they support them with dollar bills.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly.
Exactly. But the thing is, if we're spending our dollar bills when that ain't working out for us,
well, yeah, but let's spend the dollar bills first.
Yes.
And we really haven't spent the dollar bills.
So they'll say at Florida, okay, we're gonna give this coach $5 million. But they're going to go to the boosters. We need 2 or 3 more million. And
no worries.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yeah. That's bottom line.
The problem here is we don't even have a damn booster club to raise money.
Yeah, well.
If you had a booster club, people would be energetic and go out and raise money. We don't even have a booster club.
Well, we did have a booster club in Jacksonville, which Westine Lodge headed, and we were doing some big things there. Really, she had us on a good direction of doing some things, but that dissolved.
Why not?
We're working on some things. There's some things in the works. But
we still need a booster club.
Yeah, there's some things in the works, guys. The biggest question on the season finale show is, and we've mentioned some of it, what would you like to see from BCU Gridiron in the 2022 season?
Don't look at me. You answer.
I did say guys, though.
Yeah, you did say guys. You did say guys, but Ralph is doing that for a reason.
He kind of looked at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked directly at me. That's what he did.
For me, on the offensive side of the ball, I want to see a innovative offense, an offense that we cannot guess at in the stands. On the defensive side of the ball, and no shade with no one, because sometimes I think that maybe coach on the defensive side of the ball doesn't have the players that he needs to run the system that he wants to run. I've taken all that in consideration. I've taken all that in consideration. I've taken all that in consideration. However, I'm in hopes because they're doing a lot of recruiting. That coach get all the players that he needs, and he can run his offense that he needs to run in order for us to be successful on defense, period.
You knew there was a chance, right, that we were going to play football again.
But I didn't know there was a chance that they was going to lose all the players that they lost. But go ahead on.
Okay, there's other teams who didn't play.
We're talking about Cookman.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Right.
But you can't tell me if you got a philosophy and you've been here for any amount of time,
right?
You know the players that you need.
Okay.
And this is the thing. And we know players leave for whatever reason, but why are you losing them?
Well, you lost a lot of players because they wanted to play. When we did not play, they wanted to play. So we cut out our sports in the spring. Those kids wanted to leave and go to other places, so they left.
There wasn't many of them.
Well, no, it was a lot of them.
Not football players.
No, there wasn't many of them.
There was baseball players and basketball
players.
So
how many of them was? It wasn't that many. You said it
two
wasn't that
D
many.
tackles. Figure in your linebackers.
Okay, but those two D tackles.
One linebacker.
Okay, but those two D tackles, they would have made a difference, correct?
You still got to put.
They would have.
Yeah, of course
you
they would.
You still got to put 9 more people on the field that didn't leave. 8. Okay, we have a linebacker that left.
Okay, Ralph, what you want to see for 21?
You sure jumped to me real quick.
I know how to get. I know just what you want to see for 21, Ralph.
What I want to see is not what I saw this year.
Right.
And I just want to see organization. I just want to see the coaches more in tune with their players, and we have a plan. We go in with a plan and say, this is who we are, this is what we're going to be. Let's go out and do it.
Rebuild your identity.
That's what I want to see. Rebuilding identity.
Can it be done, though? I mean, we don't have the crystal ball to answer that, but it has to, what I'm saying, can it be done? But
it can be done. It can be done. I mean, it was there before. I mean, all these guys are experienced coaches. They know what it's going to take to win. Just go back to what we used to be. You know, like I used to say to you, this is the first year that I've seen a Bethune-Cookman College team that didn't have a ball hawk on defense. We ended up with, 7 interceptions for the entire year? Only 7 interceptions for the entire year. We didn't have a ball hawk. We got to get back to that. We had leaders, but they were quiet leaders. There wasn't, Everett is probably the closest thing to being a noisy leader. Everybody else was quiet.
Yeah.
The whole football team was quiet.
Y'all ready to hear from the fans? I mean, are you guys?
Yeah.
Fans, what would you like to see from the BCU football team in 2022? Call us, 386-868-0635. 386-868-0635. Speak now. Well, I guess you can voice your all over Facebook whenever you get a chance or wherever. But, hey, 386-868-0635. We know you love the university. We know you love the university. You know, you are what makes this football team, you help it to go. We're all a part of it. You know, when we're sitting in Camping World Stadium, we're all Wildcats versus, that other team across the way.
So what did it say on Facebook?
Oh, myriad of stuff, man. Yeah, I don't even know how many comments. The culture needs to be adjusted. We need community involvement, which we're working on doing. Some people like to see 6 more wins at least.
Me too.
I agree with him.
Like to see improvement in the trenches. Competitive depth at each position.
That's a good one.
So, yeah, things of that nature. A lot of stuff, man.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're on the Hill Wildcats X's and O's show. Welcome.
It's Brandon Jackson. I'm a classmate alone now.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Jackson? Happy holidays to
I'm
you.
doing happy holidays. I thought maybe y'all ate too much turkey and the season was over with.
Nah, never that. We were going to have our closeout show, man. I just had to let these guys kind of simmer down for a bit before we came on. We came on the air. This is a gospel radio station. So.
Yeah, thank the Lord for that.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. What you got for us, Mr. Jackson? What would you like to see in the 2022 season?
Well, one thing, when we had Lynn Thompson, we had one of the best athletic directors in the country.
Okay.
Lynn Thompson brought in coaches that was winners that put Bethune-Cookman really on the map.
Definitely.
We got a current athletic director. I don't think he has no experience in being that. He's a former NBA coach, but you need actually an athletic director that's an athletic director, not an athletic director / coach.
Right. It's one or the other because, you get stretched thin. And, this is not an area to at this league, you cannot be stretched thin at all.
Correct. I watched the basketball team tonight. They played tonight against North Carolina State.
Right.
They got beat 65-48. Well, number one, go back to Board of Trustee Chairperson Judge Belvin Perry. He's sitting in the position, you dissolve the alumni, you're doing things, you're not being transparent. The alumni is asking for a national search for a president. You got to listen to your alumni. You can't just push them aside, do what you want to do. One thing, Bethune-Cookman, when I received my degree under Dr. Oswald Perry Bronson, everybody was on the same playing field. The reason Jackson State is doing tremendously well because not only Deion Sanders, you got the alumni, the faculty, the staff, the board of trustees, everybody's on the same accord. That's why they're doing exceptionally well. Well, at Bethune-Cookman, because of what we've gone through, there's been division. Now we got to pray to get rid of that division and get people to understand that Bethune-Cookman is more than a football team. It's more than a band. It's more than basketball. Bethune-Cookman is known by the illustrious and great Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, and she did not envision her school for somebody to come along and tear it apart.
Gotcha.
So with our football team, I agree with CC. We got to see with this coordinator. He came in August. Okay, now you got a chance come the spring or the spring to really see what you're all about because you came in August. We didn't have no season last year. So it was a lot of oppositions for our team that I fully understood why they was 2-9. A lot of games they had that they should have won, they lost, and I'm quite sure it took a toll on the players. So I'm thinking that they, what I can see, like they're getting some good recruits. They got a quarterback that they're going to sign coming out of North Carolina. I don't know if y'all, I think his name is Nabanyi Moore or something like that.
Yeah, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, Mr. Moore.
Now he's big. He's not only tall, he's big.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
About Cam Newton's size. Yeah, if
we get an awesome quarterback and like CC said, a good couple of receivers and running back, we're gonna be something to reckon with. But this year, Bethune-Cookman never had no problem. This year, I noticed our quarterbacks were struggling, even between Devin and the other one, and they couldn't Our quarterbacks known for throwing that ball and moving that ball down, moving the team down the field. Our quarterbacks kept getting in positions 3 and out. It's like that's not Bethune-Cookman football.
Right.
So what I'd like to see us get an awesome quarterback, and hopefully this offensive coordinator, but nobody the quarterback coach. If we get a good quarterback coach and this offensive coach actually can prove that he's better than what has transpired this year, I think we're going to be something to reckon with. But we got to, now we're back playing again. Maybe we needed that to get rid of the Caldwells and all that. Now we actually will see what Bethune-Cookman is all about. And if we got the recruits that I believe that I've seen coming up, didn't we sign that Jalen Jones used to play at Jackson State? Did they sign him?
Yes, he's supposed to be coming in, along with another young man who played at Dr. Phillips, and he's coming out of Hines Community College.
Right. So, and I know Bethune has been pretty good for getting those JUCO players, which has made a difference. But you know what? I want to say, gentlemen, what's that player name we had lost during the COVID? And he was in the Daytona Journal the other day. What's his name?
The kid from Palm Coast?
Yeah, Palm Coast. What's his name?
Marcus Gilbert, or his last name's Gilbert, who's got offers from.
Don't you think if he would stay, that'd have made a difference also on our team?
Yes, I believe so. But it's
you lose some.
Yeah.
Right, and then we got Riley that was out. Riley coming back, right?
Yes.
Riley will be back next year.
And he made a difference. So we had some hiccups that really affected our season.
Yeah, but I still think we can't allow just, we know in this game of football it's the next man up. You got to be ready to go out there and play. And I know we had some young guys, but, we just have to be ready to play football. It's the SWAC's not going down; it's going up. Yeah, I agree. So there are some coaches' movements in the SWAC. So you never know who's going to be put on the schedule, and I know one team that we play off the top is going to be have a new coach and who likes to score.
A new staff.
Yeah. So.
What's that, Grammar?
No, that's Miami.
Oh yeah. And then Grammar getting that Hugh Jackson. So I don't know. Hopefully, Coach Sims turning around, because if not, I think he's gonna be kind of looking at the door.
Yeah, and that's that's what we're saying. We love him to death, but you got to be. You can't try things out. The trying out period is not there anymore. No. Yeah, it's not. It's win or go home.
Right.
Win or go home. I agree with you, and I agree with you that diehard fans are going to be there, but when you're winning games, fans will come. If you're losing, they're not going to spend no money to come out there. I know they love the team to support them, but don't nobody want to see no losers.
Right.
And spend the money you have to spend to get in there.
And spend the money to come out there.
Yeah.
Because I have the feeling, I felt it's going to win the class, but the third quarter, I'm thinking, like, if somebody pay Bethune to play like that every other play, it's like you started taking the ball out of Bethune players' hand. I say, is this really? I'm really watching this.
No, I think that's just the tempo of the season. It's just when you're down, you're just totally down. You won 2 games, that's great. But when you had the opportunity to go for knockouts, when you had them down, that's the point in time where you got to take them out of the game. Because they had something to play for. And we had something to play for. It would have been great to ruin their season. You beat them, and they go home for the most part. But they had something to play for. They played for the playoffs.
Yeah, and the kind of season we had, I didn't see us going in there making a lot of mistakes and win, because we just won the 2 games almost at the end of the season, and that's my help going into the Classic, because Bethune-Cookman is known for having a winning football team. So I'm hoping with the coaches, and if the main coach don't turn that thing around, ain't no go a whole 2-9, but just get rid of the mystery. That's what some coaches do, and that's what we got to do. But I'm just praying that the powers to be at Bethune-Cookman really have the school best interest at heart and not doing things behind the scene to ruin things, because our alumni. They work very hard to give money and support, and I do agree we need a booster, but they just want the administrators or who are the powers to be transparent. Get us a national search or president and move us forward.
Definitely so.
Agree.
Well, we thank you, Mr. Jackson, and we hope you have happy holidays. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for being an integral part of the Hill Wildcats X's and O's show, and we look forward to hearing from you next year. And like I say, it's not goodbye. We'll definitely be popping in and out through the recruiting season, but we thank you for everything you did for the Hill Wildcats X's and O's show. And we'll talk to you soon, and we hopefully will have the coaches down in West Palm Beach. I know they've been out recruiting, so hopefully they'll be down there.
Shout out to the 84 Wildcats graduates.
Yeah, tell them to come look for me down here, because I tell them, because we down here, we just got so many athletes. It's not all in Miami, but it's here as well. But I always enjoy the show with you all. I look forward to the show every week. I'm going to listen until we pick back up, I guess, in the fall?
Yes, sir. Well, we'll see. We might do a signing day show or something. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, because I look forward to hearing y'all cracking jokes. I'm laughing behind the scenes. You just don't know.
Be on the lookout for the next show. We'll just say that. It'll be before next football season.
All right, classmates.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson, and have a good night and happy holidays.
All right.
I appreciate y'all. Here we are.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
386-868-0635. 386-868-0635. Guys. There's been a lot,
So let me ask you a question though. What are you looking for in 2022?
I'm looking for a lot of things, and what I mean by a lot of things.
Can you just give us a couple of the big ones?
Of the big ones, as Cece said, I do not want to. I want to see an effective football team. I love traveling.
Well, okay, hold on for a sec. What is effective? What do you mean by that? What do that mean?
It almost goes back to what you said, where we get our identity back. When we show up, you never know. And I heard some of that, from a lot of SWAC fans that weren't even Cookman fans that, hey, man, you better watch out for Bethune-Cookman. They've been in every game. But I'm tired of just being in every game and not commanding every game. Right. There's some teams who walked out of here who
know damn well they should.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why they were doing flips.
Yes, sir. Right.
We let them off the hook.
I give it to Mississippi Valley State.
They had no business beating us.
But then, you know what? I give it to Mississippi Valley State because, you know what? In every game they played in, they weren't supposed to be there. Right. And they came out of every game. Some they got beat, but they still gave you a challenge to the end. Right. The unlikely foe. And what do they do? Here you look at Mississippi Valley State, and no disrespect, Coach Danzy, but, you're supposed to, as a coach, have him looking for another job. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's just the game. Yeah. Right. They just gave him an extension, which is great for him. I love it. I love it. And the players love it. Right. But we don't have that. And my concern is, tomorrow we start FCS Bowl, and we have 4 of our Wildcats playing in that game. Shannon Patrick, Ontario Johnson, Jamarcus Reeves, and Tony Bowman are playing in the FCS Bowl. That game Sunday at 11 a.m. in Daytona Stadium. Fans, come out and support our Wildcats and get to play one more time at home. Myself, Coach Darrell Brown, Mark Lewis are all coaching in that game this Sunday. But why does your career have to end at Bethune-Cookman?
You only gave us one thing you were looking for in 22.
I ain't done it yet. I want players to want to be here. I want them to, when you go recruiting trip, I I want them to be here. I'm getting texts left and right, from guys like, hey, I want to come on an official visit. And then you talk to somebody and it's like you beating your head against a brick wall.
So you're saying the coaches aren't listening?
Yeah, for the most part.
Who's the recruiter? Who's the high school recruiter?
All of them go visit schools.
Yeah,
but I don't know who's
Coach
a recruiting coordinator.
Coach Lane is JUCO.
Right. I don't know who's a high school recruiting coordinator. I would say probably. I think it's Coach Hayes, huh? What you think?
Or is it the tight end coach?
Chad does a lot as well.
Yeah. Chad does a lot as well.
Chad does a lot as well. And I tend to believe between him and Coach Hayes.
Man, this is what I'm saying. Okay, you missed out on the opportunity of the state championships being played right here in your backyard, right? Okay, that went away. Now they're going to be played in Tallahassee and I think Miami, down in Miami, I believe. But you're talking about negligible, travel to go and recruit and bring in some of the best guys. And I know it's win now. Caller, you on the Hill Wildcats X's and O's show. Welcome.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is Kimar Gabriel.
Hey, how's it going, Kamari? How's it going? Congratulations on your all SWAC first team nomination and bringing home that award. How's it been going for you, sir?
Everything's been all right. How are you?
Good, man. Good to hear from you. And you had a good year, and we're looking for great things out of you next year. And I know CC wants to ask you a couple questions straight out the gate, man. That's all he talks about is number one. Hey, on the phone with us is number one Kamari Everett of the Bethune Cookman Wildcats.
Hey, man, great guy, man. You really had a tremendous season, man. We're looking forward to some big things from you next year coming up.
Yes, sir.
Kamari, you started out at Louisville. What made you decide to come to Bethune Cookman? Since we're talking about recruiting and things of that nature.
First to me, got kicked out of Louisville, so I kind of felt like it was some great connection with me and Coach Lucas, and I felt like a family. It felt like a family when I came here on my visit, so I just decided to come to Bethune Cookman.
Okay. Where else did you get offered from, if you don't mind us asking?
Well, it was kind of tough for me. So when I first entered the portal, I had some big D1 schools, and then they found out what I got kicked out for. The scholarships were pulled, actually. And then South Carolina State, they actually offered me, and it was between South Carolina State and Bethune. And then, like I said, when I came up there on my visit, that's when I decided to come to Bethune Cookman.
Okay. We know that, not the best season this year, but tell me what you took away from this 2021 football season.
For the team or for my personal?
Let's go personal and then we'll go team.
Well, personal,
or you can do it in any order you want to.
All right. So for me, from this season, me not playing in 2 seasons, I didn't feel like I did as bad, but I know I could have been 10 times better than what I was this season. I didn't reach my full potential because of some off the field issues. For working, I'm not used to that working and then having to practice, and that's interfering. That's the thing about the HBCU lifestyle. So now, hopefully I can get a NIL deal and I don't have to worry about nothing, and I can just fully work out and get my body as right as I can so that I can perform at the highest level that I can. Team standpoint, I feel like we had a lot of selfish guys earlier in the season, and it just took us a minute to actually become a team. I say we wasn't a team until the pair of view game. We became a lot closer, and that was a little bit too late in the season. We actually got our first win at Alcorn when Alcorn came on our senior night, and that was great for our team, and that was the best team win I have ever been a part of, because our guys on special teams, from defense to offense, we all played as hard as we can and played as a team.
Most definitely. Mark, take me, I know you were saying earlier, for our listening audience, a lot of people don't understand, there is a difference, of course, between D1 and, let's just say HBCU 1AA. At a D1, you're, as part of your scholarship, you receive, a great stipend per month, given by the school as a part of your aid from the school. Compared to a HBCU, like you said, you had to work, and not a lot of persons or not a lot of our fans understand that, just to make it here, they don't understand what all goes behind it. And so that's why we need our fan base to really get behind all of our sports to lessen that
the burden.
Yeah, the burden that you guys have on you. It's already tough enough having to go to class and everything and play football. Then you got to add something to it just to live. So, that's kind of the reason that Neal deals are happening for players. And, as you said earlier, I think, there's one coming down the pipe for yourself. So, what would you say to the Wildcat fan base as a bona fide player, first team SWAC player? What do you want the fan base to know? Because we know they don't talk a lot to you guys. Like after the game, they might, hello, great game or what have you. What would you say to the fan base from your own personal perspective?
From what perspective, though? You saying from my own perspective, as in fan base, as in like money wise, or like supporting, or like
supporting?
Okay,
all that's wrapped in supporting.
I just want them to, like, from a football standpoint, I want you guys to know that this season was just like a rebirth season for Bethune Cookman. This season did not identify us because, like I said, we was all everywhere. We've been off for 2 years prior to COVID, but we took a season off and then we put the spring off. So then we just had to jump back into it. So this whole season was just like a rebirth season. So we just getting our feet up under us, and I can promise you guys that we won't have a season like this season. As far as like football players all the athletics, I'm sure they have to do it. As far as us like having to work while playing football, that's kind of tough. So if any fans like could like give and support to us, that'd be a plus for the football team, and anything will help. Not necessarily just money,
right?
Who just setting up stuff for football players, because some people just don't have.
Right.
And coming from a PWI to an HBCU, I can honestly tell you, man, it's just 10 times harder to survive here than it is at a PWI, predominantly white institution. So, so like all the support, like even when we losing, that just keep us up, man, and we'll pay y'all back in the long run.
But you know what, Kamara, what I do like what you just said, and I will take this, with me everywhere. I like what you said. You said this was a rebirth season, and I really understand what you're saying when you say that, and I'm so for with that statement coming from you. That makes me even have more hunger for the season coming up next year.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I think all
yes. Go ahead, Kamari.
Like I said, I think all the fans should feel like whoever I just spoke with feeling, because I'm not going to say too much and I'm not going to talk too much about it, but we don't get on the show next season.
Right. We know you're a leader, and we hear you at practice every day. So we know you'll have it on point.
Right.
Well, Kamari, we thank you for calling in, man. Thank you for all you have done for Bethune-Cookman football and Bethune-Cookman University, and we look forward to a great season next year. And we will be behind you and the rest of your teammates 100%. And we look forward to see you in the Senior Bowl next year, hopefully, there in Alabama. So we're going to work hard for that and support you behind that. So.
Yeah, and I'm going to put as much work as I can to get there. That's my goal.
Definitely
for next season.
Definitely.
Congratulations, young man.
Yeah, congratulations, Kamari, and we will talk with you soon, man. Let's get to work.
All righty, thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're
Have
welcome,
a good night.
I really do like that, man. I mean, he called it a rebirth year, and like he said, that's something that you're not gonna see this season again. So, hopefully, we will go back to Bethune-Cookman that we know and love, on the football field.
386-868-0635, 386-868-0635. That is the number to talk to Mr. CC Cruz and just lowly Ralph and myself. We got time for one more call, 386-868-0635, 386-868-0635.
But, I'm really glad he called in.
Me too.
I see this kid at practice every day, and I always wondered what kind of kid he was. Yeah. And now tonight, I found
said a lot,
didn't
it?
It said a lot to me.
Yeah,
and
it did.
I'm sitting here thinking, what can I do?
Right, exactly.
To make his path easy.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I want to do.
Exactly.
Right. What can I do? Because he seemed to be so sincere.
Right.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Caller,
you're on the Hell Wildcats X's and O's show. Welcome.
Daryl, it's Mark Lewis.
Mark, how's it going, brother?
Gentlemen, Ralph, Gary, CC, good to hear your voices, man.
Same.
It's been a great show.
Mark.
First of all, I want to congratulate my brother Daryl on another great season, and looking forward to the work we're putting in this weekend.
Definitely.
As far as the FCS Bowl is concerned, it's great to be back on that team and see if we can get a win.
And get like we said, a couple Wildcats playing for us in the contest this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's big time.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 4 Wildcats playing in this game. I don't know if any other team's going to be represented as much. And so for those who think that the cupboard was bare at BCU this year, these guys are a great example that the cupboard was not bare, and then we still got some great football players and hopefully some great days ahead of us coming up this coming season and beyond.
Right, definitely so, Mark. I think, as Kamari said just a few minutes ago, the best is yet to come. It's just about, keeping the faith behind them and, and I think he understood everything we said and they're going to uphold to their word. They're going to uphold to their word. So, what do you think? I mean, in 2022, what do you want to see better?
Well, I'd actually like to see some hires coming in. I don't necessarily think Bethune traditionally is not in the habit of firing head coaches, especially our loyalty to them, especially when they produced in the past, is very much evident in our history. But I do think we need to shake up maybe our coaching staff a little bit, maybe hire a new coordinator. Offensively, I think you got to give the offense a chance. I think you really need to get a new coordinator, give him at least 2, maybe 3 years, and focus your recruiting around the athletes that he wants at key positions to make that offense work. Now, defense is a little bit less structured. It's more reactionary in its concept. So basically what you need is good athletes at key positions that you want to attack an offense from. So I think basically if we can get more turnovers, we can get more scoring on defense. If we can get a defense that's good to itself in as much as it keeps itself off the field with those turnovers and with that scoring, I think we're going to be fine. We were in so many games this year, but I think in the second half we just ran out of gas because the defense was just on the field too long.
Yeah.
So I would love to see us make major changes on defense, and that's basically. I think that'll be a great start for us. It also gives the offense the opportunity to play catch up. To get more and more confident about being on the field in the long run. So, best of luck to Coach Sims, and I hope he makes some key hires in that direction.
Thank you. Yes.
Caller, I agree with 95% of everything you said. But the 3 years for a coordinator to get his feet on the ground ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work.
I know what you're saying, Mark, and that's typical. But in our situation here at Cookman, I don't even know if they have a half a year.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Mr. Lewis, I do agree with giving him an opportunity. And until and I've been preaching it to these guys all night, until he gets that opportunity this spring, because that's what he had. You got to give him an opportunity to run his offense. I don't mean run what he's been running. Run his offense. And if you don't see that, then that's when we have to make changes. But with that, so
look, steak might be good. But I can't make macaroni and cheese out of steak.
Right.
So I got to go out and I got to find the components that I need in the recruiting process through the transfer portal,
right,
through any means necessary to get the pieces that I need to run my offense.
Right.
Because that's when I am. If I'm a chef and I another food analogy here, and I'm sorry about that.
Are you hungry, Mark?
I can't. I'm eating popcorn right now and ginger ale.
I'll see you at Ale House in a little bit, brother.
But if I can't be, just because I'm a great sous chef doesn't mean I can. It doesn't mean I can cook Russian cuisine.
I agree.
It just doesn't make any sense for you to give me the ingredients that I don't need in order to be successful.
Right.
And so it's like anything else. The chemistry between coach or coordinator and what you're trying to do, you got to give me the pieces that I need in order to be successful. That's right. I think that's why you've got to give this guy, this guy one more year. Now, let's also understand something. Offense is intricate. It is all about execution. Defense is reactionary. There are a lot of great defensive coaches in the world, and I give them a great deal of credit. But in the long run, their philosophy as far as playing the game isn't as intricate, it isn't as advanced as the X's and O's required to make an offensive football team effective. That takes time. That takes chemistry. That takes the right people in the right places doing the right things at all times. I can play react football all the time. I tell people all the time, I don't know very much about defensive football, but I can tell you, if you give me enough time, I can coach it. And I say this as an offensive guy. So, you gotta. That's what I'm saying about this guy. You gotta give him a chance. Now, let me also say something about this, because there are a lot of people that are pontificating about our situation. this is a situation that was made really due to the fact that I can say this now, and I know Lynn, and I know a lot of guys, and I mean, you know, I was kind of plugged into the program a couple of years ago when we made the decision to go to the SWAC. It was a mistake, guys. We shouldn't have done it. We did it for the wrong reasons. We did it because FAMU did it. And to tell you the truth, I think that it would have been the best thing for BCU to basically depart itself from that umbilical that we've been as far as FAMU is concerned. Because in the long run, all we really need FAMU for is the Florida Classic.
I agree.
And if they wanted to give that up and go to the SWAC,
so be it.
Then that was going to be on them.
We'll make somebody else.
The MEAC was a fine fit for us. Right. Now we are in a conference that is basically going to demand that we do what everybody else does to be on top. If we're not committed to winning SWAC championships and keeping up with the Hugh Jacksons and the D-Line Sanders and the other dynamic coaches that are going to come into this conference, we need to get out.
That's right.
But that's, but that goes back, I think, for me, that kind of goes back to thwart the whole point. Can your defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator win you the SWAC?
Right now, we don't know that.
Right.
Next year is going to be so very important because we're going to have to look into the looking glass. And if we're not competitive, we need to do everything we can to get out and to retool and to get back into a place that we're not only comfortable in, but a place that we can win in. That's why the MEAC was such a good fit for us. Now you're gonna have people point to expenditures and travel and all of that happy ha-ha, but in the long run, football at this level is about wins and losses.
That's right.
Can we sustain the talent level that it takes to be in the SWAC over the next several years? The way I'm looking at it right now, no, we can't.
Right.
And these are hard decisions that when we see, man, Hugh Jackson going to Grambling may be the greatest coaching hire they have had there since Eddie Robinson left.
You're right. You're right. I agree.
Hugh Jackson is no joke, bro.
Right, exactly. They mean business in Grambling. You're right.
Hugh Jackson made the second he signed that paper, he may have become the best head coach in HBCU football. If we're not ready to tackle what it takes to go up against you, forget prime time. Bruh, prime time is more flash than anything else at Jackson State. He's putting, like Bud said earlier, he's putting butts in seats. They got a 55,000 seat stadium they need to fill up on a bi-weekly basis.
Yep.
Look here, he's perfect for that. Okay, good. He's glitz and glamour. You is
but
about winning championship, baby.
They're winning too, so it's
Grambling
not just
is
about
on the road to becoming a dynasty again. And if we're not ready to keep up with that, if FAMU is not ready to keep up with that, if anybody else in the conference is not ready to keep up with that, man, Grambling's about to have another dynasty.
All I can say is stay tuned. Stay tuned. Mark, we got to run, man. Thank you for the call, bro. I'll see you in the morning at 9:30. 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30. Make sure you give me a call, bro. Wake me up.
All right, bro. All right. Thanks for calling in, Mark.
All right, man. All right, love you guys.
All right. All right, guys. It's time to wrap her. Ralph, give us your closing words, man, for the season.
Well, I was having a rough night until my number one player called in, and after he called in, I'm all relaxed now.
I see. You just
I feel great now.
My boy ain't catch no fish today when he was fishing. No, when Kamari called in, boy.
Well, Kamari, to me, I've been seeing him since he arrived at Bethune, and he didn't even play that 1 year. and he was always into whatever was going on. And I mean, tonight I heard him talk, and I mean,
you heard him speak from the heart.
I heard him speak from the heart, and that's the HBCU.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, we might not have all the money as the PWIs, but once you leave us, you understand what it means to whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
Right.
Because nothing is going to be given to you. You're going to have to earn it.
Right. No.
And I think once he leaves here, he's going to always remember that. But I enjoyed his conversation tonight, and I'm looking to hear his conversations next year as well.
Definitely. Ralph, we enjoyed you this season, man. This is, it's not the end. It's not the end. Like I say, we'll be doing little odd shows, here and there on Facebook and YouTube. But what you brought to the show this year was great, man, and we truly appreciate you for that. And thanks for traveling with us. I know you'll be with us again, and we'll hopefully have a little traveling mate with us. A little leprechaun.
We gotta wait and see on that one.
It's a wait and see. We got to give him a chance. That's his favorite word.
We ain't gonna give him too much of a chance.
I had 2 callers that called in tonight that agreed with me 100%.
Finally, after 10 weeks, you had 2 guys agree.
This is what I want to say, though.
I definitely appreciate Mr. Lewis, and I definitely appreciate Mr. Jackson.
But this is the thing. Wait one moment, my friend. We're at a point I do believe we're at a point in the sport of football at Bethune-Cookman where if you do not show great improvement, and I hate to say it, if you don't show a great improvement early on next year, all that's going to be for naught.
You totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. But, again, Mr. Lewis hit it dead on the head.
He ain't going to have that long, CC. That's what we're saying.
3 years?
No. I don't agree with the 3 years. Okay. I don't agree with the 3 years. But what he's saying is you got to give this man an opportunity.
So did he score? I want to ask this to that point, and this is not to be the dead horse. What kind of points were put up at Miles? He was there 3 years.
We're gonna give him. He got another year.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he got another year.
So anyway, I'm saying, what do you expect to see? We put points on the board. We moved the ball somewhat.
So I had a good time on the show this year. I really did. I'm looking forward, Ralph, to the next year that's coming back. I signed another contract with Jerry. And
so you're not going to ESPN?
No, I'm not going to ESPN now.
His daughter got that job.
I'll be here for another 2 years. But no, honestly, it has definitely been a blast working with the both of you guys, man, and been worth putting that $80 worth of diesel fuel in coming from Jacksonville every Thursday. Can't wait to next year.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm waiting. It's 2 things I'm waiting for, actually. The February signing period. Spring training.
Don't forget, we got an early one. I mean, coming up here in the next few days is early signing.
Yeah, but we had 9 kids this past weekend.
Yeah, we had 9.
And we'll have some more this weekend.
Oh, we got more coming in?
Yeah, there'll be more this weekend. But those are going to be the guys who you're looking for in 2022.
Because those are JUCO kids.
Yeah.
For the most
those
part.
are the guys who you got to have ready that we say are ready to go now. So,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Guys, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
CC, definitely. We've laughed, we've joked.
Yeah.
We laughed and cried while we're laughing.
Put muzzles on.
Yeah, we put muzzles on.
Yeah.
We've stood out at practice and just shot the breeze. And huge shout out to Coach Sims. Thanks for allowing us into practice to taking practice and talking with us, talking X's and O's and things. That's, that goes a long way for us. That helps us with our show and just knowing, I'm thankful for each one of you guys for, everything that you put into the show, and the same from Jerry. He sends his, regards and thanks for it. And like I said, it's not the end. It's just, for 106.3 FM, we're going to end for this year, but we will be back. Huge shout out to our sponsors, Alpha One Staffing. Huge shout out, Ms. Harris. Thank you for all your support for the show. And Pro First Sports Management, we thank you guys for your support. And definitely, the staff here at 106.3 FM. We couldn't have done it without you. Thanks for entrusting us with your station. I know numerous times these guys could have came in here after a game didn't go our way and tore up the whole station. but they didn't. We kept it together, and we thank you so much. Community. Thank you for getting behind us. Thank you for tuning in, whether it was on the radio, whether it's on Facebook, whether it was YouTube. Thank you for the support you guys have shown us, and we still need you. We need you to get behind our football team, as you heard Mr. Everett say. We need you. We're going to be calling on you guys. We're going to be calling on you guys for your support. As I said, there's a lot of things in the works that we are going to help, not just Bethune-Cookman football, but we're going to help Bethune-Cookman University community-wide. And then we're going to grow from there. We're going to do it regionally, and then we're going to do it nationally. So there's some things in the work. Get behind us. Get behind HillWildcats.com. It's a movement, and it's on the move. Exactly. And we're going to make it happen. We hear your concerns, and we're addressing your concerns all the way up to the top. So believe you me, it's going to happen. Just keep the faith. That's what the school is built off of. Keep the faith, and good things will happen for you. Any closing words, guys?
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
Happy holidays to everyone. Thanks for all the fans who traveled with us to all across the SWAC, out to Texas. We're really thankful for you all, and you'll hear more from us next weekend in that regards. Happy holidays to everyone. Stay safe. God bless you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hail Wildcats.
Hail Wildcats.
Let's go Wildcats. Good night.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bethune-Cookman University alma mater.
Let's close it out properly.